I'd like to talk to you today about my private members bill that's going to come up on April the 10th. Each MPP here at Queen's Park gets one private members bill a year that will be debated and will get voted on and potentially could get passed and become law after first reading, then second reading, committee, and then third reading. And if it passes third reading, it would become a law. So my private members bill is going to happen for second reading on April the 10th. We submitted it on Tuesday this week on March 25th for first reading, which is just tabling it on the desk of the clerk in the legislature. April 2nd is a Thursday, April 10th is a Thursday. We're going to be debating it Thursday afternoon. There's 50 minutes of debate, and then there'll be a vote, and if it passes that vote, it goes into committee for discussion and possibly amendments, and comes back to the House later for third reading, more debate, and a final vote. That's how a bill gets created. This bill is called the Bob Mackey Act, and it is a tribute to my friend Bob Mackey, who died of a heart attack on February the 8th. He was president of the Niagara Landowners Association for a number of years, and he had his own problems with an organization called the Niagara Escarpment Commission. Bob Mackey ran into trouble on his home property near Beamsville, where he had an archery training business, a very small business, where he trained people on how to practice the sport of archery, how to shoot archery. He trained community groups, children, even an association called the Brain Injured People's Association. And he had Olympic athletes come and be trained at his place too. The Niagara Escarpment Commission chose to charge Bob with an illegal activity. Their plan, the Niagara Escarpment Plan, says that archery is not a permitted use on agricultural land. Actually, the plan doesn't mention the word archery, and what the Niagara Escarpment Commissioner said, because it's not mentioned as a permitted use, therefore it must not be permitted, therefore it's illegal, so Bob must cease and desist and stop his archery training business. And he was ordered to stop his business and remove 2 portable trailers he had for indoor shooting ranges in the winter and have them removed as well. Bob chose not to do that, to not comply with that order, and he carried on with his archery business, and his customers kept coming to him, and he was a very welcome business in his community, welcomed by his municipality and people that lived in his community. The Niagara Escarpment Commission then took him to court, charged him with the offense of running an archery business on his rural property, and he was in court for 7 years fighting the Niagara Escarpment Commission over the charge that he should not be running an archery training business on his rural private property near Beamsville. Unfortunately, what happened to Bob was the stress got to him over 7 years. His money was all depleted, and he had a heart attack and he died on February the 8th. So it's a sad story, a sad end for poor Bob. An awful lot of us in the community across Ontario that knew Bob have a world of respect for him, and we understand that the Niagara Escarpment Commission is a wrongful body that has outlived its time, and they persecuted Bob as they've done to many others. And poor Bob suffered the ultimate penalty of dying broke. So this legislation is going to amend the Niagara Escarpment Commission and their plan, and it will insert the word archery into the plan as a permitted use on agricultural land. It doesn't sound like a big change, but it's a very major first step. It's very significant because our friend Bob Mackey died fighting this battle, and it's a proper and appropriate thing for us to do at this time as a tribute to Bob Mackey, to make it right that what he was doing should be right in law, and that's what this law will do. Some of us think the Niagara Escarpment Commission is a body that's outlived its time and would have liked to see more drastic measures. However, this is one small cut, and as you may have heard, death by 1,000 cuts, and this is the first cut. And for Bob Mackey, we do this on April 10th. Come to Queen's Park on April 10th. We're going to have a gathering at 12 o'clock noon on the main south entrance with faithful landowner people from Niagara Landowners Association and Bob's friends from across the province of Ontario. The bill will be debated at about 2 o'clock in the legislature. There'll be a vote at about 4:30, and then we'll have a little reception afterwards for all his friends and supporters. And I invite you all to come to Queen's Park and be with us to get the Bob Mackey Act passed. Thank you.